I don't want to be like just the best IPF, USPA lifter. I want to be like the best overall.
The rise of John Haack, one of the greatest powerlifters of all time. He has made history on numerous occasions, breaking multiple records in several weight classes. Known as Captain America, this is his rise to greatness.
I was always very much interested in strength, even like you said, I started lifting when I was 10. It was always focused on, I wanted to have the biggest bench out of all my friends, biggest squat and all that stuff. Got into college, met up with a kid in the gym. We just kind of clicked and started training together. He did powerlifting in high school, and he found a meet in the area, and he convinced me. He's like, hey, you'll do really well in this. Like, you should compete. And ended up, taking first at Badger Open, I think. Total 1482, and that was kind of the first time I was like, I won best lifter at this local meet. But then I compared my number to like nationals for USAPL. If I had hit that total, I would have taken like second or third. My real second meet was Raw Unity 7, and that was like the big year when like Animal was brought all their top athletes, and I ended up taking second to Jamie Lewis, who was the world record holder for the 181 class. And I totaled 1620 at that one, I think. That was another time when I was kind of like, okay, I'm like, I was natural at the time. Obviously, he's not, and I'm like, all right, if I'm competitive with a guy that's the world record holder, untested, maybe I can make it far in the sport. I think the next one was UPA, and that was the first time I broke the drug tested 181 record of like 1705, I want to say. And then around that time was when Brett Gibbs was coming up, and he won Worlds. So it was kind of the debate of like which one of us is better. And me having the competitive nature, I was like, okay, well, I want to prove that I am the better one. So that's when I switched back to USAPL and IPF. I won nationals that year. And that's kind of when I set out to go compete against him in Worlds.
Feel the electricity. Whoa! He's pulling for the win! Oh my God! He has it!
Ended up going 9 for 9 at Worlds the following year, hit 13 kilograms total. I don't want to be like just the best IPF, USPA lifter. I want to be like the best overall. And I saw like conquering the IPF as just like one of the stepping stones to that. First current, like the first big current with the $40,000 payout got announced, and I was like, that's an easy reason to switch. Like, I ended up taking second at that meet. $10,000 payout for second place. I tied Ben Pollock. I guess once I started getting kind of closer to like a 2K total, that's kind of when I started thinking like, all right, this is going to be my plan to get to 2K. So I went into the meet feeling pretty confident, and I planned out my attempts, and I was like, okay, I can still miss one lift and hit the 1,000 kilos. I was like, all right, if perfect day, I would hit like 10, 12.5. But obviously missed the third squat, but I injured myself on that one. I kind of tore both quads. I was like, I don't think the 1,000 kilos is here. I was very heartbroken. I was like, damn, I really thought this was the one. So like the first two attempts, I didn't push it that hard, or I didn't like, it was basically like 90% upper body, maybe like a little bit of leg drive.
Yeah.
And then third bench, I was like, like, fuck it. Like, fuck my legs. Yeah. So, hit the third bench. And then at that point, I kind of like did the math. I'm like, okay, this is the number I need to hit to hit the 1,000 kilos and deadlift warming up. I was like, all right, it hurts to move, but the actual lift isn't making the legs worse. So it could be there actually, and ended up being there. So it was kind of like going from that super low to that super high. This is the healthiest I've been for squats. I usually have like at least one like quad tweak. I think I did earlier in the prep, but it wasn't bad. It was like a 1 week recovery. Bench was like going bad for the first 10 weeks or so. The last 2 weeks have been actually very, very good. Deadlift, not so great the last couple weeks. I missed 903 on Monday. Maybe it'll be there meet day. Didn't really cut for this meet. I did a little bit of like a half-ass water load lead for the week lean in. So weigh-ins Friday went super well. Weighed in at 95.6 kilograms, 210.7 pounds. Ended up going to 766. Moved about as well as I expected it to. Was a little bit slow, about halfway up. Felt a little bit popping in my quad, but it wasn't enough to really cause any issues for the rest of the day. Moving on to bench. Big goal for this one was a 600-pound bench. Hit it a few times in training. Called for the 600. I was a little bit nervous about that call just because, I mean, it's a big number, but also I haven't missed a bench in a meet in I think like 4 years or something like that. 600 moved well. Lockout was a little bit slow, but moved smooth. Decided to go tie my PR, 410 kilos, 903 pounds. Ended up going very well. Totaled 1030 kilos, 2270 pounds. Was enough to take first place with a 646 dots. Man, going to 2300, like, that's a big jump. But I kind of thought about it. I was like, all right, I think if I could hit like that at 198, then I'll be very satisfied at 198. And then now my big goal is so Ed Cohen's 220 record is I think 2405, if I'm not mistaken. So I want to hit that at 220 as a raw lifter.